All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NIO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And before we jump into NIO and we see what the chart is showing us, I do want to announce to all investors to take a look at the link down below in the description to the new website I just launched. I just launched it last week, investfortomorrow.com. And we have a short video here for you to go ahead and see. It's a welcoming video, give you an overview and oversight on what the whole entire website entails and what it's looking to do moving forward. I do have a disclaimer so you guys can go ahead and read over it so that no one is misinformed or misinterprets the purpose of this website. So here we are with how to manage the intangible. We're here with gathering of investors as well. These are different forums, the stock picks forum and the daily watch list. So there's a lot of different information here for you guys to go ahead and obtain, and you guys will all be able to, as you join and become members in gathering of investors, to discuss different topics and different ideas. Obviously the website is still being developed, but we do have member options here where you can choose one or the other, and depending on which one you choose, you do have certain access per each one, right? So this is all optional. This is a great way to continue to support the channel, support the website, and learn and grow together. And my goal is to build a community of investors where we're all aiming and striving to go ahead and grow in our knowledge and experience as investors, as well as grow our portfolios. Obviously, it takes time and a lot of research. So I do appreciate those of you that support it and have joined, and also those of you that have stopped by to even check it out. If you haven't already, I encourage you guys to check it out. The link will be down below. So NIO is acting as I've stated in my previous videos. If it stays in this channel, right, if it doesn't go below $38 and it stays around this area before it took off with this volatility and fell right back down, it's kind of in that same area. As it was going down, I stated it may end up in that area again and hold itself up. And if it does hold itself up and it does this sideways movement, right, volatility does exist. The market is going to go up and down. But if it does go in that sideways movement and slightly creates some type of consolidation, I could see it doing one of these plays like it did earlier in the year as it was going on its way up, right? Before this crazy run, which was pretty big, and if not, we could have seen a consolidation there, but it continued to be very volatile, hitting almost $60 and falling down back to around this area. So I had stated when it actually settled down and ended up in this area, we would see if NIO would hold itself up. If it held itself up and it doesn't break through $38 and it continues this sideways movement, we could see a possibility of volatility and then spiking up back to the newer highs like it was doing previously as it was running up. And I can see this hitting close to $60 or actually breaking through it, leading up towards NIO Day. I've been saying that in every single video. And as long as it holds up from $38, it creates that consolidation and starts to work its way up, it could possibly break through that $60 mark or almost reach it. I know there's a lot of analysis out there saying, you know, this can hit $100, this can hit $80, this can hit $150, $200, $300. Those are all possibilities, but those are probably price targets 12 months from now, a year and a half from now, or even months from now. I'm talking about leading up towards NIO Day. It is possible to work its way up closer to 60 or possibly even break through it, but we need to watch this. The bulls need to hold up. And the volatility is there. We're seeing it. It's up, down, but it's staying above that $38 mark, which is that previous area before it broke out into all this crazy volatility and then fell back down. So we're kind of leveled off now at a break-even point from this previous run, and there was no consolidation after it, and it's kind of forming it here. So it's a good sign. No red flag just yet of, okay, this is going to get destroyed. The chart is on its way down to new lows. A lot of people keep saying we see this going to 30, 25, and so forth. I believe that as long as it holds up above $38, even if it stays in this same range for quite some time, even leading up to NIO Day, it will have a point where it has consolidated and it can move its way up to newer highs, especially as institutional investors jump in on this again. So let's look at our new support here based off the chart and see here what it is showing us based off our resistance and support in the last couple hours of the day. So before I jump into this and we zoom in on these numbers and these points of reference, I want every single investor to be aware that we have some broader numbers to look at and also narrow numbers. We have the 50-day moving average as well. So the lowest point before this ran up and it looked like it was starting to have momentum until the bears appeared again was down here at around 40.88. Super important number to keep in mind if it breaks through this support, and also for the next coming days and weeks if this continues the volatility in this direction. So we're going to watch for that. Then after that comes the $38 mark, but right now this is probably the most important before worrying about $38. Now on the other spectrum of things, if this breaks through resistance, the 50-day moving average for the next coming days and weeks is 47.37. That's the highest point before this fall. That is an important number to keep in mind for the next coming days and weeks if the volatility takes the stock in this direction. 47.37. So our 50-day moving average is 45.77. I want every single investor to keep that in mind. As long as we're below it, we're in bearish territory. The moment we're above it, we're in bullish territory. So super important for the stock to break through this, to start getting into bullish territory and working its way up deeper into it, hitting newer highs and new resistance levels. Let's zoom in on here on what we have based off the chart. So our support is 43.03. We're currently at 43.75. If 43.03 gets broken through, this will be on its way down to newer lows, and we need to watch it carefully if the bulls are trying to reappear and bring this back up, or are the bears tearing this one down further away from the 50-day moving average and bringing it down to newer lows. As I stated, we have the support down here to watch at 40.88. Between 43.03 and 40.88, we can see the behavior of the stock, or are the bulls trying to reappear and bring it back up. Now, if the bulls reappear, they still have a long stretch to go. They need to break through resistance. They need to break through the 50-day moving average, and they have the other resistance way up here at 47.38 to break through. So they have a lot to go through. So if this breaks through support, the bulls are losing more control, and the bears are making it much more difficult for the bulls, if they reappear, to have a slight chance to build momentum and work their way up to newer highs. So that's why support is so important to pay close attention to, and how the stock is reacting. And even if the bulls do reappear, that's a good sign of building some momentum and stopping it from hitting newer lows. But we need to watch the inflow and the outflow of these stocks and how the orders are being done. If you don't have level 2, use level 1. If you don't have level 1, I highly suggest getting access to that. There's different platforms that allow you to do that, and you'll be able to see the inflow and the outflow and see who's dominating. So you need to watch the behavior, especially in your 1 minute, your 5 minute, and your 15-minute chart frames. So let's go ahead and see here our resistance. Let's get this to the T because it keeps bouncing. There we go. So our resistance is 44.47. This is very important for the bulls to break through, but I do want every single investor to be aware that breaking through 44.47, excuse me for that, it does not signify that the bulls have actually made it into bullish territory and that they're guaranteed to break through the 50-day moving average. This is just an indicator for us investors to know that this is heading upwards. They turn that into a support, and they can pull away from that point of reference to reach newer highs. So by breaking through that, that lets us investors know that it's getting closer to the 50-day moving average. And if they turn that into a support and they can hold it up, they can pull away from it, meaning that it's going to head towards the 50-day moving average, but they need to cross it, create a support here, and break away from it to get deeper into bullish territory. But before getting to the 50-day moving average and any resistance level in bullish territory, this is the first step for the bulls to go ahead and start that catalyst and start that momentum. So 44.47 needs to be turned into a support, but it does not guarantee that it's going to break through the 50-day moving average and that the bulls have gained control. This is just the beginning indicator and catalyst if they can turn that into a support to pull away from and reach newer highs. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.